Peter, it's been great to see what God's doing in your life over the last 6 months, 12 months, but I know life's not always been like that for you. Tell us a little bit about your story.
I was born into an alcoholic family, really, and I spent a lot of time in care. And my mum left me when I was about 6. I moved into a convent when I was 10 years old, and the priest talked about turning the other cheek, you know, and from that point on that's what I did. I was quite a rough child until I moved into the Catholic Children's Rescue Society in Manchester. I went to a secondary modern school, St Mark's, and I did really well. And I played for the football team, and I took my trials to do football, and I failed the trials because I didn't have any football boots, and I gave up my footballing career. I said I'd never smoke, I'd never drink, I'd never been like my dad, and then I stopped playing football, and then when I was about 17 I started drinking and smoking cigarettes. And alcohol gave me this freedom, you know, to dance and to be funny, and so I really enjoyed the effects that alcohol give to me, and I also started smoking cannabis at about the same time as well.
Okay. And so what began as a small thing, did it soon sort of take over your life?
There was this hippie around the corner, and he introduced me to my first joint, you know, and I was around at his house every night smoking his cannabis. And then when I was about 20, we went out and had a lot of magic mushrooms. And I said to myself, from now on, I'm going to take every drug underneath the sun, but never use needles. And I never did. I never used needles. You know, I came quite close. You know, the big turning point sort of happened when I came to Lancaster about 15 years ago, and I ended up coming to this church. And that was 15 years ago, and I was in the worship team. And Ken Blackwell used to see me every week, and he baptised me. And at one point he said to me, Peter, he said, I'm not worried about you anymore, because I've got faith.
So you've had a really tough time over the last sort of 15, 20 years. What changed for you? What was the turning point?
I think really there's a scripture, it says something like God is putting a desire in me to obey Him, and He put that willingness in me, you know, to have a relationship with Him, to do things that please Him. About 22 months ago, I just sort of woke up, just come to Stella, just put it down the toilet, had a cigarette, and any drugs, been sexually immoral, and a drink. All these things have just happened, just gone, you know. I haven't backslid, you know.
And what do you put that down to?
God's grace, unmerited favour.
And so do you get strength from God to help you through these things?
All the time. He's the first person that I consult. I pray and meditate continually, you know, and I try not to deviate. I try to obey the best I can, really.
So would you say that your life has been transformed?
Definitely. Understatement, yeah.
And so now you're in a new place,
yeah.
and we've just begun to celebrate recovery as a church. What does that mean to you?
It's brilliant because everything I've learned over the last 22 years is now sort of in a biblical format, you know, and I believe Scripture's flawless.
And so now you've begun to lead worship on a Tuesday night for us.
Yeah.
What's that meant to you?
Well, it's like when I came here 15 years ago, I took part in the worship, but it's like Job, you know, it's like I lost everything over 15 years, but now I've got it back 100-fold. So
for anybody who's listening to this and, you know, they say, okay, my life's struggling at the moment, what would you say to them?
I think, have a go at Celebrate Recovery, I'd say.
Fantastic. Peter, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.